Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel Code with Akky. How are you doing, guys? So this is the second part of our Medium clone. In the first part we have already built the UI of this landing page. In the second part we will be going to discuss about the Firebase authentication. We will add the Google provider with the help of Firebase authentication. We will cover the concept of Redux for the state management of the user, and we will cover the concept of user authentication using the Firebase. So let's get started. And if you have not watched the first part, I strongly recommend you to watch the first part and come to this part, because this is in the continuation of the particular part here. So let's get started. So as you guys can see here, we have this Firebase console here, and here you just need to create a project or simply add a project from here, and from this you can give the name of the project. So here just give the name of the test. So whatever the name, you just give it the name to the project, and here from you can simply continue it. When you click on the continue, just add a default Firebase account and now create project. It will simply creates your project and does do everything from the authentication to the storage. But in this part we will only using the authentication part, so you will get everything right from the authentication till the storage part. You will directly get it from this project setup. So it will do everything for you guys. You just need to grab the code or simply a snippet. You just need to add it inside your project directly. When your project is ready, you can simply click on this, and now here you can simply go to the project settings. In the project setting, as you scroll down here, you just need to register your application or simply the app. So here you just need to register it. So you can simply go and add here. There is no app in this project, so you can add a web app. So basically we are using the web application or creating the web application. You just need to give the name of the web app. So let's give it the Medium clone. And if you want to host this, if you want to hosting, you can simply check this. Okay, and here you will see your code will be live on this particular website later when you register the app. So here from here you can simply click on the register. So it will just create or simply register your Medium clone application. And here we have a bunch of things that I just need to do. So these are the things that you just need to mention. I just want to mention it down here. So this is our settings configuration that you just need to add it inside your project folder under a file. And from here you can simply add the authentication part. Also it is required for the authentication part, and for other parts like the storage, the bucket, and the cloud messaging. So for this you just need to set up your Firebase first of all in your project. So as you can see here, these things are the snippet that you just need to add here, and you from there you can simply do the next, and you will be getting this kind of UI when you are all done for that. So when you've done everything from there, you will be getting this thing like the Medium clone, the name of the web application from here. And now you will see this thing, that is this setting configurations that you guys need to require, or you just need to add it inside your project directory. So let's copy it, and we just need to paste it down in our project folder. So let's go to our Visual Studio Code, and here I'll just add it inside this source at app.js level. So here we just create a file with the name of firebase.js. There is a spelling mistake. Okay, so here inside of this firebase.js you just need to paste the whole thing here. And now you can see here we have the analytics. So I will not going deep in the analytics part, so I just let it remove it from here. So here is your application, your app, and you can set up your storage. But in this particular part we will only use this app or the authentication, the Google authentication. So we will use this in this latter here. Okay, So here, as you can see here, our application is initialized. We just need to add our Google authentication. So for that, let's go back to this console of the Firebase, and here you just need to add the authentication. So and the sidebar, you can see here we have this authentication section, and here we have added this authentication. But for the first time, if you did not add that, so you can simply click on the sign in methods, and here you just need to add a provider. So for in the provider section, you just get the bunch of providers from here. So you just need to select this Google from here, and here when you click on this, you will definitely get here, go back to this, and you can see here this is your Google authentication provider that is enabled here. And inside of this users section, you will see all the users that have been logged in or simply come to this website with all the details, like with the user ID and the Gmail of that particular user is registered here. From here you can simply block or disable the account or delete the account for that particular user. So this is the whole things, or the whole control is in your hands, the admin hands. So you can simply play it around here. Okay, so this is how you can enable the Google authentication for that. And the next thing that is required is in our project setup to add the Google provider, particularly the Google provider there. So for this, you just need to create a constant or the object here of the authentication. Let's give it the name auth, and here we just call the method, the get auth method, that we will import it from the Firebase auth. So let's import it first of all. So let's import it from Firebase /auth, and here from inside of this Firebase auth, we just need this get auth method. So get auth method basically provides us the authentication method. So here we can use it all the functionalities for this for the login of the user or the logout of the user. So we can do easily with this auth functionality. And the next thing is comes our provider. So for the provider, we just need to add a Google authentication provider. Let's create an object for that. So here we will just initiate the Google Auth Provider. So in this way, you can simply initiate the Google Auth Provider, and you just need to import the Google Auth Provider from the Firebase /auth. Or else, if you want to import another provider like a Twitter provider, so here you can simply add the Twitter, and here you will get the Twitter Auth Provider. But in this particular segment, we just talk about the Google Authentication Provider. So here we have added the authentication, and here we have this provider. Okay, the next part is to just export everything. So let's export the authentication or the provider. Okay, so here we are just export the authentication or the provider, and we will use this authentication or the provider in our project, anywhere in our project. So this is the setup of the Firebase, and my Firebase setup is now complete. So we can now move to the next part, which is just creating a drop down or the pop-up for the user to simply log in or simply create a sign in with the help of this Firebase authentication. So let's go to the home header. Let's switch to the home header. So inside of the home header, as you can see here, let's go back to our build. So here we have this get started. When I click on the get started or the sign in, we just want a pop-up here which asks the which provides the Google provider authentication, and it just asks you to log in with the help of that provider, and we will make this login smoothly later in this build. So first of all, we just create a pop-up using the ant design. So let's create a model, basically a model. So here inside of this component, we just create a folder with the name of not inside of this component, right? So let's create the model, and we have just created the model, or inside of the model we just create a file with the name of authmodel.js, and here we will be importing the ant design models for this. So here we will create the ant design model. So let's create a component. First of all, this is the auth model, and inside the model we just import the ant design model from the entity. So this is the model here, and here inside of this model, let's delete this and close this model like this. Okay, so inside of this model, we just need to pass a bunch of props. So basically the props is just for opening the model. So here we will add the props for the state, basically for the viewing the model. So here we can add the state of is open. Now we add the state for handle cancel, which will cancel the model, and next handle okay. So these three things are the props, and we just need to pass these three props from where we will call this model exactly. So inside of this model we will have some content. So let's put it this div, just give the class name like model, and here just close the div, and here we just give a p tag basically, and here we just add the model content or just the name of some content for just a sake of testing. So here we just add the testing model, right? So here for the model we have a bunch of attributes or the props that we just pass it here. So the first is the visibility. So here for the visible, so by default it is invisible, like by default it will be false, like the model is not visible. When we click on a button or when we trigger an event, then this model will be open. Okay, so we have just added the visible. So is open is the visible, and we just want this model to be centered, vertically centered to the screen size. So we just add the centered here. By default it is true. Okay, on cancel we just want to close this model. So here we just need to call this from method the handle cancel like this, and we have another another props we just passed it here, which is on okay. So on okay is basically we called with when our successful things has been done. So here this is the on okay. So here we can add handle okay. So here we have added these three or like a 4 attributes to this, and here we just add the title of the model, but in this case we just don't want to add the title there. Now let's save this, and here inside of this home header, we have this get started button. So here what we will do, we'll just create an state, which let's create an state is open. Let's add this and set is open, right? So here we just added this state. Let's give the initial state to the false. So let's give it false, and let's import the use state from the React. Okay, so here we have just added the created a state is open or set is open, and we just create the two functions. The name, let's add the function which is a handle cancel. So handle cancel will basically set the model to the false. Similarly we can do the same thing for okay, let's make it the arrow function like this. Okay, and similarly we can add for our handle okay. So for the handle okay too, we can create or simply close the model by setting the state to the false. Okay, the next step is to trigger the model. So to open the model we just need to create a method called show model. So let's create this show model. Okay, show model, and inside of the show model we just set is open to the true. So let's set it the true. So it will simply open the model, and we just want this model to be open when we click on this button. So we just add it on click, we just add it the show model, right? So here we just added the on click method. So model, let's copy it and paste it down. Okay, so when we click on the get a started button or the sign in button, the sign in link, whatever we call it. So let's copy it and paste the same thing inside of this sign in. So when we click on this sign in span or else the button get started, we just want this model to be open, and here we just call this auth model here. So let's call this auth model, and pass all these props inside here. So first prop is open, so this would be is open. The next is handle cancel, so this would be our handle cancel, and the next one is our handle okay. So this is our handle okay. Now save this and let's test it is working or not. So when I click on this, let's click on this sign in, it is not working. Let me refresh it once. Okay, so it is, I'm just refreshing this. So now you can see here the model is open, and now you can see it has the by default okay or the cancel here, but we don't want this okay or cancel by default here. And here we have this close method also, but we don't want this okay or the cancel kind of thing here. So we just clean the footer, so we can add the footer null. So let's go to this auth model, and here we just need to add the footer, and here is for the footer we just add it to the null. So because we don't want anything of this, so let's click on this, and now here we have this footer null, and now you can see here the footer has been removed here. So this is our testing model that we have added it here, but we just want the masking of this. So let's add the mask here. So here we just add the mask, so it is a maskable now you can't be able to do anything for the screen here. And one more thing, when you click outside of this model, the model gets closed, but we don't want this thing. So for this we just need to fix it. So here we just add close on escape. So here we can add this on keyboard we just add it the false. So let's add the keyboard to the false. So here we can simply can't be close this model using the escape button of the escape button. So when you press the escape button, it cannot be closed, but when you click outside of this, it got closed. So you just need to mask it here. So let's add the content for the model here. So let's go back to our code. So here we have this div. Inside of this we have a p tag. Let's remove this. So we have removed this p tag, and now here we just add a h2 tag. Just give them simple message like welcome back, and here inside of this we just create a button. So in the button we just need to create the button for the Google Authentication. So here inside of this button we just add a SVG of the Google image, and here we just add a span for like give the name of just like this. We just add a span, just give it the name continue with Google. So here is the message, and now just grab the SVG of the Google image and just paste it down here. So let's paste the SVG for the Google image. I have just got this SVG from icon8.com. So here you can add the SVG just like this, and now let's save this. Let's go back to this and open the model now. Okay, this is the deployed one. We have this welcome back, and here we have this button there. Now the next thing is just to add a footer for this. So very nice footer. We just add a footer after this button. So let's add a footer here inside of this div. So just give it the name div. Just give the class name model footer like this. So here we have just added the model footer, or else we can add these things from the button, and this welcome to this. So we can add these things inside of div. So it will be easy for it will be easy for us to styling. So from this let's grab the same div and just put this button inside of this model, and we will simply place the item to the center. So it will be automatically realigned to the center. Okay, so we will do the CSS later, and here just bring this footer inside of this. So all these three things, the top, the body, and the footer, will be synchronized according to, or simply added to centrally aligned here. And now inside of this model footer, we just give a small message, like you can simply give a small message, whatever, just put it inside of this. So here we have this span. So inside of this span, we just add a message here. So let's grab the message from the deployed one. So this is the deployed one, and let's copy this message and paste it down here. Okay, so we have done with this. So our structure is now ready. We just need to do the styling, simple styling. We just need to do for this. So let's create a CSS for this file. So here we just give the name of auth model.css, and to do anything inside of the CSS, first of all, let's import the CSS here. So let's import the CSS of this auth model.css, right? So inside of this auth model.css, we just need to specify the few things. So just do the CSS side by side. Let's make it as smaller, like this. Just split the screen basically. Okay. Okay, so let's open the model. Okay, now we are ready to add the CSS here side by side. It will be easy for us to debug or adding CSS. So we will be using the CSS grid. So for the model class, just give the display flag, or just place all the items to the center. So let's place all the items to the center, and just give it the height of 100%. So whatever the sizes, we just give it to this, and justify content center. Let's put it thing, justify content center. Now save this. You will see this is the display of flag, and we have placed all the item to the center here. Okay, so we just get the display of grid. So when you give the display of grid, now you can see here everything is now going in the grid, and everything is now styled to a center here. Okay, so by default we just give the height of this like 100 view height or the 50 view height. So let's give it the 50 view vh. This is the height for this, so you can simply give it the 50. But you can see here this thing is gone very deep down here, so our UI is breaking for this. So let's give the height of it 40 vh. Let's see how it is going. Okay, so the thing that is inside of this footer of this div, it is breaking there. So what we will do, we just give height in the pixel. So just fix the height, basically just give the height to the 600 pixel, like this. So you can see here, whatever we just do, every time the footer section is gone away from gone away from this model. So just fix the we just need to fix that first of all. So we have added this model footer there. Okay, or else we can do a simple thing. Just grab this span and just remove this div, and here we can simply add a footer null. So we can add this span directly to here, so it will be like this. So here we have added this to the footer of this. So basically we just added this to the footer, or else you can add it anywhere here. Okay, so let's move ahead. Just give it a class name, or simply add a style like this, and just give it the text align center style text. So text align is the center. Let's give it a, okay, so now it will be centrally aligned text. Okay, there is some issue with this custom styling, because we just adding these things inside of the footer of the model, which overrides the styling of this. So let's uh, copy it here and just remove this and from and bring back to it to the down. Okay, we will do the styling exactly there. Now let's save this. Now you can see here it is now going to the centrally aligned here, but we just need to align we just need to fix the alignment for that particular thing. Okay, now it is looking perfect here. Okay, so here we have added this model here, and here we have added the justify content to the center. Okay, inside of this model we have a h2 tag, so let's style the h2 tag first of all. So for the h2 tag we just give the font size of 3 rem and font size of the 3 rem, and we just give the font family. Let's give the font family times Roman like this, and now save this. So here we have this very nice welcome back now here. Okay, so next thing is our button. So we just need to style the buttons here. So we have just grab the name of the class what we have given the name. So we have added a div for the model, or here we have, okay, we have a bunch two mod where we have a model and again a model. So we have a class name of the model two times. Let's change the name to the sign in buttons like this. Now save this. So this is the sign in buttons here we have. Okay, so let's go back to this and grab this and bring it back to this. So now this design will not get distorted now. Okay, so we have this sign in model, sign in class name, sign in buttons, copy it, let's paste it down. So for the sign in buttons, let's paste it here. So for the sign in button we just do the display of flex, right? And here we just give the flex direction to the column. So flex direction is column. Okay, and then we just align all the items to the center. So let's add align items statement. Now save this. You will be see the sign in buttons here we have. Okay, let's check it whether the name is proper or not. Okay, so we have this sign in buttons, right? Exactly the same. We have added the sign in button, display of flex direction column, and here. Okay, so next thing is to just assign or simply design the sign in buttons, and inside of the sign in buttons we have a button. So here for the button, first of all we just add a display of flex now. Okay, so just give the or align both of the icon or the text to the center. So align item center, justify content. Let's add the justify content also to the center. Then we can simply give the padding. So just give the padding 10 from the top and the bottom and 25 from the left and the right. So we have added the padding here. Then we just give the margin. So let's give a margin from the top 10 pixel or left or right 0. So we have given the margin here. Let's give it 0. Now next we just have to give the background color. So let's give the background color. So background color we just add a white, and then we just need to give the border. So let's give the border 1 pixel solid RGBA, and we just give a 0,0 or else get 8 or opacity, just give the opacity 1. So here we have added the border here. So next we just want the rounded corners here. So let's give the border radius. So border radius, give it like 33 pixels. So it will be a fully rounded border we have. And then just give a font size. So let's give the font size to 1 rem, which will be fix it according to the screen size. And next we will give the width, whatever the maximum content here, so it will be assigned to that particular gear width for that, and we just add the cursor to the pointer. Let's save this, and this is our button that is fully designed here. Now we can simply add a hover on the button, hover effect on the button. So let's copy it and add. Okay, just want to copy this section, not whole. Let's copy this and paste it down here. So this is the button, and we just want the hover effect on the button. So let's on hover we just add the background color. We just want a background color of fading dark, so we just give it to the let's give it the DDD, basically this. So this is the background color when we hover on it. So now you can see how the color is now changing. Okay, so this is now makes our button very interactive. Okay, so now the last thing that is left is our model footer. So let's align the model footer to, let's scroll it a bit. So for the model footer, we just want it to the display of flags, aligning all the items centrally aligned. Now it will be centrally aligned. And the next, we just want the justify content, so it will be justified centrally. So we just add the justify content center. Okay, then add the width, just give the width of 100%. So width of 100%. Okay, now let's check the class name is model footer or else, just to confirm. So we have this model footer. Now it is perfect. Model footer. So for the model footer class, we have added this thing. Okay, it is perfect. So we have added the justify content center, width we have given it here. Now let's give the font size here. We just want it a very cool font size. So let's give the font size of 14 pixels. So it will be a shorter color. Okay, I think the styling is not applied on this model footer, model model footer. Okay, let's check it once again. Class name, we have this class name model footer, and inside of the model footer we have this span. Okay, so we just need to put this inside of this span. Let's go back to this. So let's add these things to the span. So we have this model footer, and we have this inside of this model footer we have this span, and let's add this the font size. Let's grab font size first of all from here to put it down here, and just add it here. And now let's give the text align to the center. So now it is centrally aligned now. So we are done with this design. When you click on this, now it will be closed. So model is now open and model is now closed. Next, we just add the functionality on this button click. So when I click on this button, there will be a pop-up for the Google Authentication. So we just want that feature to be implemented it here. So for this, you just need to go back to your auth model component. So auth model component, we have this button, and when we click on this button, we just want a pop-up of the Google Authentication provider. So for that, it is very simple to be implemented here. We just need to import it from your import that particular thing from your Firebase. So let's go and add these things here. So let's create on sign in, just add on click, and here we have just add a sign in with pop-up. We just add a sign in, but like this. So we have added this sign in, and we just need to create a method simply. So let's add a method for the sign in. So for the sign in, we just need to do like this, and here for the sign in function, we just want to implement it. So for implementing the sign in function, we just need to import it from the Firebase, the sign in with the pop-up provider. So let's add this very simple method. Let's create a sync function first of all. We just want to wait for the response of that particular function. So let's create a await sign in with pop. So inside of this, we just add the two things, the auth that we have created in our Firebase.js file, and the which provider. So let's give the provider name of the provider that we have exported it into in our Firebase.js. So we are just import it from there, and now we just need to add these things in the parameters. Now let's save this, and when we click on this, now you will be see there will be a pop-up. So let's save this. Now click on this. Now you can see here we have this pop-up here, and this pop-up we just have a bunch of options from there. We can simply sign in here. So this is the thing that we have implemented it here, and now we just simply click on any of this pop-up, and here we just click on that, and now you can see we have to now create the next thing, that is when we have successfully done with this. So we just need to close the pop-up. We just need to create a user interface for state management. So we will create the state management with the help of the Redux, and we will simply make the user login. So we will create a private route, and we will create a public route. So whatever we will be do without login is all the public route, and we will create a private route with the help of the user state management technique. So first of all, we just need to create a user state management technique. So for that we will be using the login or the logout functionalities. So for that we just need to create a Redux kind of stuff for this. So here we will start our Redux thing here. Okay, and one more thing, when we click on this button, we just want this button we just want this model to be closed, right? So let's click on this. When we click on the sign in, just call this handle cancel. So it will simply close the model here. Now let's save this. Let's click on this. Now you can see here the model is now closed. Okay, so this is the thing that we have just wanted it here. Okay, so now we are done with this. Now let's move to the next part of this, and we just want to create a, let's make it a full screen. We just want to create a user state management. So for that, how we will do this. So first of all, we have, you can see here we have the Redux stuff like this. We have these features, and we have the bunch of options inside the feature. We don't need all these things here, so we will just remove most of the thing like counters API, counter module, and this, and counter.js. So all these things we just want to clear it here. So let's select this one, this, and this. So let's delete everything. Now we just want this counter slice. So grab this counter slice, put it here, and let's delete this counter folder first of all, and bring this counter slice and put it inside of this feature. Okay, so inside of this feature, this is the counter slice. Let's rename this first of all. So let's rename it and just give it to the name of the user slice. So this is our user slice. We will do the user state management techniques or the things here. Okay, so let's grab everything and just remove it here. So here we are doing the Redux kind of stuff and creating the user slicer. So here we will do add a login or the logout functionality, and we will define the states for the user. So first of all, we will be using the slice. So for this, let's import it from the Redux.js toolkit. So let's import from Redux. Okay, let's Redux.js toolkit, and here we will be using a create slice. So create slice, and we will create using the create slice from here, and let's create a function. Let's export it with the help of with the name of the user slice, and here we just want to create this slice of the user, and here we will just give the name. So let's give the name to the user, and we just define the initial state. So initial state for the user will be a null. So we will give the initial state like this, and destructure it with the give the value, and we just give the value to the null. So this is the initial state, and the next we have to define the reducers. So let's define our reducers. So first reducer will be our login. So for the login, we just have the state or the action inside of this and with the help of this state or action, we just simply update the state of the user like this, and we just simply update the state with the action dot payload, whatever we have just whatever we just get it from the action here. Second reducer we just want to define is our logout. So this is our logout. Let me put it the name logout in this way, and here we have the same thing, state and the action, and we just want this inside of the logout we just want to simply update the state of the user to the null. So you just simply add this, oops, we have just forgot to put the comma here. Okay, so now we have added the state here. Now let's go back to here and just simply add the state dot user to the null, or instead of this value we can simply add it to the user just like this. So here initially the state that we have defined is the user, which have the value null or the state, or just give the value or the user, whatever the name you can give to there. Okay, so we have these reducers here. Now we just want to export each of these things one by one. So first of all, let's export the login or the logout. So this is our login and this is our logout, and here we will simply export it from the user slice. So user slice dot actions, we can simply export it from here. Next we just want to export the method, or simply call user selection. So let's give it the name of the user. Select user, it have the state of the user that is currently been logged in. So we have this state dot user. So we have this state of the user there, and the next very last thing, we just want to export the reducer of this. So let's export it by default. So user slice dot reducer, and we have this reducer. Let's save this, or where we have this app, and inside of this app we have this store.js, and here we just give it the name of the reducer to the user, and here we can give the name of the user reducer like this, and just import the user reducer from the features, and inside of the feature we have this user slice. So we have these features and we have this user slice. Let's remove everything from there. So this is the setup done. So we have created the state for the user, which will be with the help of the Redux, and you can simply use this user state anywhere in your project, from creating the private route, or else you just want to post or create the story. We just use this particular state each and every time when we will be required the user state here. So we are done with the user state management here. Now it's time to test it with the dispatch functionality. So for testing it, let's go back to our app.js, or inside of this app.js what we will do, we will do the user authentication for that. So we will be listening the on auth change status. So when there will be any change in the authentication, we just need to listen on that particular thing. So for this we just add it inside of this app.js. So it will be our top level component. So we will add these things here inside of this app.js. So let's add this. So first of all, we just create a dispatch method. Let's create a dispatch object, and we will be using the use dispatch, which will be imported from the React Redux. So here we have this dispatch, and now we can simply create a use effect. So let's import the use effect here. So here inside of this use effect, we will use this auth that we have created from the Firebase. So we will use this auth, and we will use the method which is called the on auth state change. So on auth state change basically returns the currently logged in user with the help of this Google Authentication Provider. So for this on auth state change, we just create a async method, or like when we push these things to our database, we will use a sync method for that. At this point of time, let's create this auth user object, and just if we get this auth user state, we just need to dispatch we just need to dispatch it. So here we have this auth user, right? And here we just need to dispatch it from here. So first of all, what I will do, I will simply console the auth user first of all. So whatever we will get inside of this auth user, we will simply need to console it there. So we just need to console that, and then we simply dispatch it to the, so let's dispatch this. So inside of this dispatch, we have a login functionality. So for the login, so let's import the login. So we just need to dispatch the login, and here we just need to provide the state, right? So for the login, we have added it here, and now we have the provider data. So let's give it the name of the provider data, or else you can give the name of the data, or like this. So we have inside of this login, we just provide object called provider data, and we have this auth user, and auth user dot provider data will provide everything of that particular state for the user. So this is our provider data. Okay, let me destructure it. It is breaking. Let's grab everything and put it inside of this curly bracket. Okay, so this is our provider data, and we have added to our login statement here the login dispatch method here. So it will have the state of this provider data when we do the user authentication, right? So this is done from my side for creating the state or the state management for the user, and now we have a successful login for that particular user. The next thing that we just want to do it here. So we have forget to add the dependency here. Let's add the dependency, or else it will be called again and again. And here we can add the dispatch. Okay, so it will trigger when we load this component, or when we come to this website, it will be first called here, and when there will be any change on the user authentication, then these things will be called again and again. Okay, so here we are done with this, and now let's test it. First of all, let's go back to this code. Now let's open the console first of all. So this is our console. Now let's click on this get started, click on this. Now you can see here we have this model pop-up. Now click on this. On the successful authentication, we will be getting the use effect of that. So there is nothing, you didn't get anything from there. So I think there is if it is working, then we will definitely get this auth user, that is a console.log that we have edited here. Okay, so let's do it once again. Click on this, click on this. Okay, so now we are getting this console here of the auth user here. Now inside of this auth user, we have this different we have this access token, we have this authentication of everything that we will get it here, and we just definitely use these things. It is very, very important for this. So we will simply use this data and store it in our MongoDB. So not everything from there, so whatever we will be required. So here we can see, here we have this provider data that we have storing it in our state, that is the provider with the name of this provider data. So this is the provider data at the 0th index. We will be storing this thing, and only this thing, which contains the name, email, phone number, URL, provider ID, and the UUID, which is basically here we are getting it from here. So we will be using only these things here, not all these things. So we will be updating the state for this. So here we are done with this user authentication setup. Now we have this login here. Now our main motive is to create private routes. So for creating the private route, we just need to create a component of private route. So let's create a component for the private route. So let's give it the name like this, or else you can create a component inside of this source directory with the name of the helpers. Let's create a folder with the name of helpers, right? And inside of this helpers, we create a file with the name of the private route.js. So this is our private route.js, and this will be our only be accessed when the user has been successfully logged in. So this will be only be accessed when there will be a successful logged in from the user. So let's create a private route for the user first of all. So here just create a private route for this. First of all, we just create a function, like first of all import the React from React, or else create RAFCE. This is the functional component that we have just created it here. Okay, so we're just giving the name of this private route, and here we will have our children, basically a React component here. So we have just added the children here. Okay, and here we just just create an object of the user, and the object of the user we will be using a use selector. So here we will be import the use selector from the React Redux, and inside of this we will use this select user, because inside of the select user we have all these things that we have required for a user to be logged in. So when the user will be logged in, we will have a details of the user inside of this select user, and we will be using the use selector hook that will be imported from the React Redux. So here this is our user, and inside of this let's remove this curly bracket, the parenthesis here, and here we will simply return, like when we have the user, we just return the children that we are trying to access, or else we just simply navigate the user. So let's navigate the user. So let's import the navigate from the React Router DOM. So we will navigate the user to the home page, that is this. So navigate the user to the getting started page. Let's add the getting started. Right, now let's save this. Okay, so for the sake of convenience, or for testing, we just want to create another route. Let's create another route. Okay, let's Control Z. Let's copy it and paste it down here. So we just want to create another route with the home page of this. So basically we will not give any slug or the path name for this. So this is our home page. When the user will be successfully logged in, it will be go down this to the home page, or else it will be redirected to the getting started page. And here we just create a component. Like let's create a component first of all inside of this. So let's create a component, just give it to the name main page, or else we can give it a landing page. So let's give the name landing page like this, and inside of this create a file index.js, and here we just create a RAFCE. Okay, so here we have just export it from here. Now let's create it here. So this will be accessible. Let's add this will be accessible when we will be logged in. So when we will be logged in, this page will be accessible. So now let's save this and go back to this app.js, and here we just need to import this landing page. So here you can simply do this import, paste it down here, simply update it to the land page like this, and let's give it to the land page. Okay, so here just need to put it here, the land page, and here the simple changes that you just need to do, you just need to wrap it inside of this private route. So whichever will be the private route we have, so we just don't want the user to access it without login. You just simply wrap it inside this private route. So let's grab this land page component inside of this private route. So when you add this to the private route, you can't access this file directly from without login. So let's do this. So when I click on this, now you can see we have just redirected back to our home page. When I click on this, let's close this, and now click on this, we will be redirected back to this getting started page. Okay, so we just don't want to get redirected to the getting started page. Let's log in it. first of all. So let's log in it. So let's click on this. So on successful login, we should be redirected to the home page. So when I click on this, let's enter this. Now it is not we are not going to we have not successfully logged in, so that's why we are redirecting again to the getting started page. Let's fix it out first of all. So here we have wrapped it inside of this private route, and here inside of this private route we have just added a children here, and here we have this user, and we have this select user from there. Okay, and if we have this user, then we are redirecting to the children. Otherwise we just redirecting to this getting started page. Okay, perfect. Let's do the console for the user, whether we are getting the details or not. Let's save this. Okay, go back to this, click on this get started. Okay, now click in this sign in, and now you can see here in the console we are getting for this. Okay, let's check can we able to access this page or not, home page or not. Again it is showing the error. Let's check. Okay, it is undefined. Okay, so the state that we have added to there, it is coming undefined. Let's check it once again. Everything is fine in our code. What else I have changed? So inside of this index.js, so let's open the index.js. So I have changed is the index.js inside the React DOM.render, and we have passed this inside of pass this document.getElement by id in the root root inside of the React DOM.render. Initially it was like this. Let me undo all the changes. So initially it was, because in the React 18 everything you can see here, it is a container that creates a root with the help of this create root. So it makes our code it breaks our code, because when we set our state in the use reducers, so when the state is get assigned, our page is not going to switch to the next page, basically the login page. After the login page, the home page, we cannot access the home page because of this container which gets wrapped by this element of the create root. So when we are doing this create root with the container, it just prohibits our landing page to be accessible when we do our authentication. So we just changed it to the we just use the React DOM.render instead of this root.render, and our, let me undo it once again. So our code now working, because everything is fine, but the changes that is coming in the React 18, it is because of that it is not working properly. Now when I refresh the page, I have logged in, so that's why it is now rendering back to our login page. So this is how this thing is working here. Okay, so now the next thing is to create the home page. So basically the home page is this that I'm talking about, the landing page here. So in the landing page we have the different header instead of that. So we have a header icon, we have the bunch of icons along with the user drop down or the pop over, where we have a bunch of information. Then we have this following section, the recommended for you section, the recommended topics, and home to follow. So this is our home page, like landing page. You can call it a landing page. When we successfully logged in, we come to this page. So in the next part we will learn how to create this landing page along with the components that we will be discussed is this popover, and we will add everything inside of this popover, and we will learn how to add the idea or the functionality of the signing out. So for signing out, we will use this authentication object that we have already created in our Firebase. So in the next part we will definitely see everything this. So in the next part we will cover the concept of this landing page, and here we will create the structure for that. Then we will be moved to the next two pages that we need to create, which is our list section. So here we just create this list, then we will move back to our storage section, and then after storage we will be moving back to this create a storage section. So there will be three more pages that we need to create, and then we are done with, then we will be done after all the three pages. Then we will be moved to our next part, which will be a backend. So I hope you had definitely enjoyed this part also, and if you have any queries or doubt related to this part, make sure to comment your doubts or queries, or else you can get in touch with me on the Instagram. You will get the link in the description. So I hope you will truly like this video. If that's so, if you have not subscribed this channel, don't forget to subscribe this channel and press the bell icon. Till then we will meet in the next part, which will be our third part, where we will create the home page like this, and then we will be moved to the our next part accordingly.